What's up, guys? It's your girl Brandy back with another video. If you're new to my channel, I just pretty much do story times and I talk about my life and all that great stuff. So I'm 30 years old. I currently live in Nevada. I am from Dallas, Texas, but I pretty much lived everywhere. I was in the military and I just kind of talk about my life and I'd be just seeing y'all in the next video. So as by the title of this video, this is going to be a story time on my experience in a trail ride group. Okay, so we just gonna talk about it. I don't even care. I was like, when I be trying to do these story times, I'm like, just in case somebody sees the video, I be trying to just be considerate of people's feelings. But then I'm like, people don't be considerate of me, so let's go with it. Let's just tell the truth. All I can do is tell the truth, okay? So first of all, if you've never heard of a trail ride group is essentially a bunch of people coming together to do trail ride like activities. So that means line dance. They come together, they'll drink, turn up, just have a good time. It's really about just coming together, appreciating trail ride music and the culture of trail riding, which I wish I'd done a little bit of research on what the actual like historic aspects of trail riding is, but it's been something that's been around for the longest. Like as far as I've been, because I'm a country girl, you know, I grew up in Georgia and Texas. It's always just been a thing where people have trail riding groups where they meet up, you ride your horses, you do your ATV rides, y'all have fun, y'all just, you know, get your golf cart, you drink, play music, and you always end up meeting at a spot, and then you just have a party, a cookout, you know, things like that. So that's what a trail ride is. And then over time, people just branch off into different groups. Like you might have groups that are basically all women, all male. You have a lot of co-ed groups. You might have groups that have certain themes. It just really depends. So they just all meet together. You can win awards at certain trail ride events for like different things, like most people in uniform, latest group, most group with the most rhythm, prettiest group, you know, group with the prettiest girls, group with the most women, group with the most women, men. It's just different things, right? All right, so let me just give you my background. So when I was in Georgia, I had heard of different trail riding groups because one of my friends was in like she had I forget what kind of car she had. Let's say she had I don't know, Lexus. She was in a group where they had like a bunch of Lexus people with Lexuses meet up. And when they would meet up, there was always like a trail ride event or a group and stuff like that. So we would just always talk about it, and she would be like, oh my God, I want you to join this trail ride group with me. I'm scared to join by myself. I'm like, I don't know about that. So when I was in Georgia, that was happening. And there was a guy, when I was, he lived in Texas in the area that I lived before I moved back. And he had reached out to me. He was like, hey, I want you to join my trail ride group. Are you interested in joining? And at that time I was like, no, I'm sorry. And I'm not even in Texas. So he was like, okay, well, if you ever come back, then, you know, just hit me up or whatever. So I come back, you know, went on about my life. And then probably like 6 months into me being back, no, probably not even 6 months, probably like maybe a month or two into me being back, I ended up like just watching his stories. He was always doing trail ride stuff, and then he ended up hitting me up again and saying, hey, do you want to join my group? Now at that time I was like, you know what, this will be a good way for me to meet people. Maybe I can network, make friends and things like that, right? I'm gonna say this: if you're a woman joining a trail ride group, don't be that girl, because a lot of these trail ride groups, I feel like, are cover-ups for friends with benefit finders. I'm gonna just say that. So immediately when I got into the group, it was a lot of people trying to shoot their shot at me, which definitely flattered. I know I'm a baddie, but it just was like, okay, I didn't come here for that. It kind of made the experience more uncomfortable because I didn't want to really like mesh with them. I was like, okay, y'all gonna be like trying to shoot y'all shot and being weird when I just joined this group. Then I don't know. But let's just get into the nitty gritty of what started happening. So I again, shooting their shot, I'm keeping my distance. I'm kind of keeping it cute, like very polite, like, no, I'm not on that. Nice to meet y'all. And then after people kind of start seeing that like I wasn't on that, that's when they kind of just like, okay, she ain't even on that, right? Which is so weird. But anyway, so first red flag that I started noticing was it the person who reached out to me was like almost like a recruiter, like trying to get people to join the group, but he was always trying to, like, he had ulterior motives. Once you, it just seemed like you got in the group. Like I said, a lot of the time my experiences was when I would try to join that, like, these groups and get in their spaces, they were always trying to shoot their shot at the newest girl or somebody that came into the group. And so what ended up happening was you have a guy who's messing with a bunch of people, and then it gets messy. And so what ended up happening with y'all, this is what happened. So the first trail ride was probably the funnest trail ride. We had the most litest people. I'm not gonna say his name, but shout out to my boy K. You cool as I'ma always remember you. If he ever comment on this video, that's my boy K. Love you. Just I love when guys and females can just have a good time and not be about trying to hook up with somebody. He was a guy that was just like, he looked at me, he was like, okay, you pretty, but I'm not on that, I'm cool, like, we gonna, you know, I just want to turn up. So you know, I'm a baddie, right? Okay, so anyway, so it was the funnest time I ever had. We was all like drunk. We had the guy, one of the guys was driving his truck. We was in the back of the truck. We was throwing booty, like we was getting drunk. It was just fun. It was just a fun experience. We was having so much fun. And then what ended up happening was I was mingling with some of the other girls in the group, and it was so hot outside that we decided that we wanted to go sit in the car and just chill and drink for a bit. So I'm sitting in the car, and there's two people that are in the car. Well, sorry, there's three people that are in the car. It's me, another girl that just joined, and then it's another girl that's been in the group a little bit. So one of the girls had been messing with the boy that was recruiting everybody. And she felt the type of way because a lot of the people in the Trailride group had kids, and they dropped their kids off at somebody's house that they don't really even know. And they had the kids basically watching themselves. And then the guy who recruited everybody, he drove everybody over here. So she had been talking to him, and she had felt the type of way about it. So she had stopped talking to him, like, or whatever. But he had been talking to the girl in the car too. Like, we didn't know, but she basically long story short, we ended up talking. We weren't even talking shit for real. We were just like talking about him, because he ended up, like, he basically was trying to talk to every single girl in the group. Like, we all had stories about how he tried to talk to us, and the girl in the car that we did not know, she was telling us about her story with him, and we didn't even know that she went back and she told him what everybody was saying. So again, like I said, when we got in the car, that one of the girls, she was a mom. She felt the type of way when she used to talk to him, because he would always like leave they weren't his kids, but he would like be pretty much okay with people just leaving their kids, because he was everybody's ride most of the time. So she just felt a type of way about that. I had my own story when he tried to shoot his shot at me. He tried to come at me on some "you want to be best friends" type shit, but he was really trying to, you know, do some other stuff. And then the other girl that was telling us her story, she said that she was talking to him right now, but she noticed that he was flirting with a lot of people, like when we would go out to trail rides and stuff like that. And I was just like, girl, what do you expect? Like, they gonna do what they gonna do in these groups, okay? But we were all just like, I guess you could say we were talking shit a little bit, but we were just being honest. Like, like, if this is supposed to be about trail riding, why are you trying to talk to everybody, and why are you like messing with everybody in the group? That just creates more drama, right? It just does. So what ended up happening was that happened. We had a good ass night. We went back, we got drunk, we was all just chilling, doing stuff. And then we ended up, what happened? We ended up, you know, next day, thinking nothing of it. The next day, I get a call. There's all this drama and stuff going on or whatever. I get a call, basically a text or something from the boy that was recruiting everybody, that was trying to talk to all the girls, saying like, were you talking about me? What did you say about me? And I'm like, what you mean? He's like, apparently you had a lot to say about me in the car and stuff like that. And I basically told him like, well, I didn't basically tell him anything. What ended up happening is I was very vague because I was trying to figure out what exactly he was talking about. And I was like, well, I was kind of playing dumb because it wasn't that I was scared to say anything or own up to what I said. I just wanted to know what was said. I just wanted to figure out who it was. I wanted to see what he was going to say so I could figure out who it was that said something, what was said. Because again, if somebody is coming to you and they're saying, oh, you had a lot to say about me, the first thing you're going to think about is, okay, you're going to be like, hey, what did I say about them? And you want to know what it was that was told to them. You're not just going to immediately say like, oh, I did this, unless they for sure know. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, was I recorded or what? So I kind of played dumb, but I was just like, oh, what was said? Like, I was drunk last night. And then basically he was recapping like, oh, I tried to talk to everybody. I'm a hoe. This, that. And boom, boom, bam. And he just didn't appreciate that. And then at the same time, it didn't turn into a thing. But when that happened, I was like, okay, they on some messy shit, right? So I ended up just letting him know, like, real talk. I'm not going to say what I did or didn't say because I really didn't know. At that time, I was just like, okay, I really don't remember what I said for verbatim. I know I was saying stuff, but all I told him was about my experience when he tried to talk to me on some best friend shit. So I just told him like, well, I don't know. Well, what ended up happening was too, he ended up kind of spilling the beans of who said what, because when he called me, he said that. I immediately started texting the other girl and I was like, what happened? And she said the same thing. And we figured out that it was the other girl that he had just started talking to in the group that had went back and told him. So when we found that out, I flipped the script and I was like, well, it's funny that she's saying this when she was also the same one clowning you because you were trying to talk to her too. So I'm confused, girl. It was a whole thing, y'all. So like, what ended up happening was because of that situation, it got really, really heated in the group chat and a couple people ended up leaving. But that wasn't even the end of it, y'all, because I got a whole nother story. I ended up having to leave the group because the messiness just got to a point, and I ended up coming back a little bit later, but then it was still some weird shit going on, which I'll probably have to do a part 2 because y'all, when my videos gets about 10-15 minutes long, they take super long to upload to YouTube. So I'm gonna just leave it with this. If you join a Trailride group, just be very mindful of what kind of group you're joining and what type of time some of them be on. A lot of them will come in there and be like, girl, we just want you to join our group. And all they want to do is try to talk to you, try to pimp you, just do some weird shit. I was finna say all they want to do is pimp you out, do some weird stuff. Because some of them do be acting like they be doing some weird stuff behind the scene. Just be very careful, steady yourself, keep it professional, learn the Trailride dances, have a good time. Always have somebody that you can come with, a designated driver. But also just be very mindful, again, like I said, when you join these groups. Because a lot of these groups just be some front end for people to just talk to people and do things that they shouldn't be doing. But that's pretty much my story time of what ended up happening. Again, there was some more instances of things that ended up happening, like some messy things going on that I ended up leaving the group. But that's pretty much like my entry into this in my first experience. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna last long. But I'll probably get y'all that part 2 soon, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.